The Gregory-Portland Wildcats are at Cabinets Field today to take on the Carroll Tigers. I talked with Coach Ronnie Jonesy earlier in the week about some of the folks that inspired him and helped mold him as a player and as a coach. Also talked to him about the matchup today with Carroll and talked to some of the players for the Wildcats as well. Here in Portland, talking with head coach Ronnie Jonesy, and coach, let's go a little bit of a different route this time. We didn't get a chance to really introduce you, and so let's talk a little bit about you, coach. Tell us where you went to high school and where you played college.
I'm a graduate of Elgin High School. It's located about 25 miles east of Austin on 290. Graduated in 2004, then went to Sam Houston, graduated from there in 2008, and then took my first baseball job back in Elgin again in 2008. So.
And from there came straight here?
I was in Elgin for 5 years as an assistant baseball coach, and then spent the next 3 years as head coach at Rockdale, Texas, which is kind of in between Waco and College Station and Austin, a little 3A school. Over there we had some success, and then came down here. Was at Ingleside, and I think it was 2016, 17, and 18. Or was it 17, 18, and 19? Excuse me. And then got the GP job here in 2020. So.
And what is it that is it a lot different? Central Texas baseball to South Texas baseball?
I would say the biggest difference is the community involvement. When I got down here, the first year I was down here, I got to witness the I guess they call it the Little Big 12, and all 4 teams made it to the playoffs. I think all 4 teams made it to the 3rd round, and I watched some games at Cabinets, I watched some games at Whataburger, and you know, the atmosphere was electric. Man, you go to Whataburger Field and it's sold out for a high school baseball game. It's standing room only, man. You know it's special. And so that's the reason I came down to South Texas. It's not necessarily that the baseball is so much better. It's just everybody's more invested.
Coach, let's talk about some of the guys that maybe growing up that influenced you, not just in your style of play, but some of the guys that influenced you in how you coach.
Yeah, the first one was my father. My dad was an all-state baseball player back in 1981, and so I learned a lot from him. And then I guess as I grew up, once I got to high school, Bowen Malik was my head baseball coach for 2 years. He's kind of from the area. I think he's a graduate of Mankaty, Texas. And so he was my head coach for 2 years. I took a little bit of what they did in those 2 years and kind of added it to what I do now. And then another big influence for me was Bill Miller. He took the job after Coach Malik left, and the aggressiveness that we have on the bases, I would attribute a lot of that back to him. He was a good coach. He taught us really how to hit as a team. He taught us about approach and things like that. So those are some of the things that I kind of carried over as I got to be a head coach. And then just learning how to be a professional. And Pat Watson was the first head baseball coach that I worked under, and he just taught us how to come to work every day and have a plan and execute that plan and just how to be professional about it. And so I'd like to thank him for that opportunity that he gave me to be an assistant baseball coach under him. He's now at Denton Geyer. And then when he left, Coach Michalek was the assistant. He took over, and we really learned a lot from him. He's a football coach, I'll tell you that, but he's a good baseball mind. He took that aggressiveness that we had on the football field and he applied it to baseball, and I think that's one of the things that I was able to carry over as I became a head coach as well.
And Coach, let's talk a little bit about some of the philosophies maybe that have stuck with you. I know you mentioned the aggressiveness on the base paths, and I too was wondering where that came from, because you guys will run. But what are some of the philosophies that have really stuck with you and that you've tried to coach here at Gregory-Portland High School?
Yeah, just the aggressiveness in the running game. It's not just the base stealing, but there's also base running, and we're going to try to be aggressive. But you also have to know your team. There's a time where you can't overcoach them. Sometimes when they're hitting double after double after double, sometimes you just gotta hold your play card in your pocket and just let them do their thing. But when we need to be able to manufacture runs, there's certain things that we're going to go to, and we've been able to implement that in the last 2 years, and we've been pretty successful at it. So when we need to use it, we're going to use it. But I tell you this, I'd really like to just keep it in my pocket and let those guys hit.
Coach, let's talk about the Carroll Tigers. a team that, to close out district play, 2 big wins for them, and they've gotten their ace back in DJ Dudney, and I feel like that not only has that made them a better team, obviously adding a quality arm, returning from an injury, but giving them a level of confidence that they haven't had. And they're one of those teams that certainly not out of the mix of things, and so they're going to be definitely trying to get back in it and fight for a playoff spot. What have you seen specifically from those guys, and what's it going to take to get the win?
Well, I know they won 2 straight, and they were kind of at the bottom of the cellar, and then all of a sudden they rattle off 2 victories, and those are big-time victories for those guys because it gives them a chance and gives them a little bit of momentum going into that second round. And so there's no telling who we're going to see on the mound. We play Friday, Saturday, and then we have to turn around and play again on Tuesday. And so this week's going to be a lot about matchups, and so it'll be interesting to see who we get on Saturday. But like you said, DJ Dudney, I saw him pitch in our fall league that we had over here in Portland, and he was pretty solid. And then, if they do throw Nick Matridis, he pitched, I think, a 3-1 game in the Victoria tournament last year and held us in check pretty well. So, either one of those 2 guys are pretty good. I know Diego Cardenas can throw it pretty well. And so whoever we see is going to be a quality pitcher. We got to make sure that we put the ball in play. We limit our strikeouts, and if we can do that, I think we'll be okay.
Here in Portland, talking with senior Gage Gleinig and Malachi Lott. Guys, let's talk a little bit about some of the things that you guys are doing really well right now as a ball club.
I feel like we're really playing behind our pitcher. Malachi goes up there, throws a lot of strikes, doesn't really give any freebies, not a lot of walks. So whenever they do occasionally hit it, I feel like we have a solid defense behind him to make the play and stop it. And then we do a pretty good job of putting a good cushion so he can pitch with the lead, which is a lot easier for him.
And let's talk a little bit about that, Malachi. You come out there and you do have some solid defense behind you. How important is that, and how much confidence does it give you out there on the mound?
Oh, it's amazing, and it lets me know I can miss a spot, I can miss a pitch, and I know they'll be behind me. And if they put the ball in play, it's okay. I don't have to have a bunch of strikeouts every game. I know I can let them put it in play, and they'll make the easy out.
And what are some of the things that you guys have been, had almost a week and a half off, with the break, and what are some of the things that you're working on that you guys are still trying to improve upon?
I'd say a lot of bunting in first and thirds and rundowns on defensive side. First and thirds is really important to the game. I mean, it's an easy way to get a run, and bunting, that's just small ball. It helps teams win, so we've been improving on all those things.
Engage, tell me, just how much fun has this season been so far, just being able to come back and play baseball, number one, but then as well as you guys have played here so far up to this point, how much fun has this been?
I feel like it's redemption from last year. Last year we all really rolling pretty hot into pretty much our first district game, and we get shut down. And it's just the basic production of all the work we put in. Everyone worked their butts off. Everyone worked really hard. And now we can come out here and have fun and play with our friends.
Would you agree with that, Malachi?
Yes, sir. It's been a blast. It's every day coming to practice. We all enjoy coming here and getting better together.
Stopped by Carroll High School on Wednesday afternoon and got a chance to talk to head coach David Marcello about what has inspired the Tigers' play here at the end of the first half of district. Back-to-back wins for the Tigers, and they take on the Gregory-Portland Wildcats today. Also got a chance to talk to a couple of the Carroll Tiger players. Hear what they had to say. Here at Carroll High School, talking with head coach David Marcello. And coach, let's talk first. We've got to talk about a couple of big wins for you guys to close out the first half of district play, and honestly, got you guys right back in it. I mean, you're one of 4 teams at the bottom, all tied, at 2 and 6, and just 2 games out from the 4th and 5th place teams. And just talk to me about those big wins and what it's meant for the ball club so far.
Oh, you got to hit nail on the head there. They were super big for our confidence level. I mean, we'd struggled. We'd been in the mix for a couple of those games and just couldn't quite finish. But to get those 2 wins back-to-back like that against 2 teams that you're fighting with to climb the ladder were big. And to win in the way we did, where we score early and added on, and we got good quality pitching and a couple good relief efforts. It was definitely what we've been pushing for.
And let's talk about pitching. You guys got a big quality arm that came back from injury, DJ Dudney. And not only does that make you guys a better team because you've got that quality arm coming back, but would you agree that it's also seems to have built the confidence in this team as well?
Oh, hands down, no doubt about it. I mean, those guys puffed their chest out a little bit. Dudney, walked into practice and was full go because they know what he's capable of. And it was a big part of this team, and we made that, clear in the offseason last year, and then all through the offseason here this year. It was big, and it was, a little blow to our confidence, so to speak, to not have that senior leadership on the mound. Take nothing away from the guys who pitched in his absence, but he didn't have that senior leadership, and it was just a different mix. But when he came back, it was definitely a different vibe in the dugout.
And Coach, let's talk about some other kids that you guys got coming back. I mean, you and I, just a little while ago talking about the fact that, when you drew this up in the off season, you've not seen that lineup yet.
Yeah, it's been tough to see, like I said, everything's great on paper. It looks, you got a championship level, on paper. Then when, reality comes in and guys got, injuries here or there, or things happen, life happens. And let's face it, life's happened quite a bit for a lot of people in the past year. So it's been tough to navigate, trying to put a lineup together every day and not knowing who's going to be available to go. But the silver line, like we talked about, was the fact that you've had to play a lot of young guys in some pressure situations. And while, the results don't look as good as you like, but long-term results are going to be really good because now they've been baptized by fire in this district. They understand what it takes to be consistently successful.
And let's talk about some of the things that you feel like, I mean, obviously you guys have grown as a team. This is not the same team that you had week one. What are some of the things that you feel like you guys are doing really well right now that maybe, have improved upon from week one?
We put a huge focus on situational gameplay, whether it be at bats or defensively, because that's kind of where we were lacking early on. And part of that was the fact you had some young guys in a lineup and, missing your senior leaders. But we've really put a premium on situational offense and defense, and I think that's starting to show. We're not where we need to be perfectly as of yet, but it's still a work in progress. But you can see the huge steps we've taken. We're having better at-bats, and we're a little more locked in defensively. And part of that goes with the fact that we've got a little more depth in the mound.
And what would you say are some of the areas where you really try to put in work? I know you mentioned some of those just there in that answer right there, but what would you say are some of the areas where you guys definitely are still trying to get that improvement?
We got to make sure that we don't leave runs on the table. You talk about you got to eat. That's what our motto is. You got to eat no matter what you're talking about. You got to let your arm eat to get strength on that thing. But you got guys on the bags. You got to pick them guys up. We cannot have a leadoff double and have that guy not advance to third or score, and you're already fighting an uphill battle. So we've really stressed that, and we've worked in practice, and we've kind of got a little system working where if you don't get that job done, there's a little bit of price to pay for it. So our guys have bought in. And you can hear them chit-chat, about what they're doing. They get on each other about it. Hey, you didn't get that guy over. You didn't score that run. And it's become a really good competition in practice. Not that we weren't there before, but it's been heightened. So I think they realize that these games are at such a premium, and they realize how close we've been in certain games, and that right now, after these last two games, we're not out of it by any stretch of imagination. So the focus is really getting a lot better.
And let's talk about your opponent here, the Gregory-Portland Wildcats. So far they 8-0, and playing some great ball, and I've seen a lot of ball games, that they've been in, but even Coach Jonesy admitted to me that, hey, these games are getting closer, they're getting tighter, and just tell me some of the things that you've seen from them, and what's going to be key to getting the win.
I mean, they're a great team right now. They're well coached. I mean, Jonesy's got those guys balling. They've got some talent up and down that lineup and in that program, so it's going to be a battle, and those guys believe that they're on top, so that goes a long way. Well, you can play that way, you can have the physical skills, but when you believe it mentally, that adds a whole other level of that stuff. But as we hit the stretch run, round two, you really got to find out. You just can't live on the reputation alone. I tell the guys all the time, it don't matter who's in that dugout, what their record is. We got to play the game. And right now, for them, they're playing the game really well, but we've got to try to match that on a nightly basis as well.
Here at Carroll High School, talking with junior Nick Matrides and senior DJ Dudney. And DJ, let's start with you first. And you've been working your way back, trying to get back from injury, and you've been back for what, a couple of weeks now?
Yes, sir.
And just tell me what it feels like to be back.
I mean, it feels good, of course. I come back off an injury last year as well, so I was used to it. And, you always want to get back out here, and I owe it to these guys to come out and compete and finish the season for them.
And I know you've been watching. As you're coming back from your injury, you kind of been watching to see. What are your thoughts on how these guys have done so far?
We're getting better moving on forward. We started off a little bit slow to start district, and now we're starting to pick up, hitting better, and we're having better approaches, and you can see that in the scoreboard and in the at-bats. So a lot of potential going up. So I think there's a lot of room for working, but we're on the right track.
And Nick, what would you say, what are some of the things that you feel like you guys are doing really well right now as a team?
I know to the beginning of the season we're having trouble with our at-bats. We get runners on, we just move up over. Now I feel like we're starting to take more of a selfless swings, move runners over, and give our leader lineup an opportunity to bring them in.
And DJ, what are some of the things that you feel like, you know, this team is still working really hard to improve?
I still think we can have some better at-bats. You know, we had a lot of strikeouts toward the start of the district. We've been getting a lot better. I think there's still some room to grow, and, you know, we're doing that right now as we're hitting BP. We're getting better, you know, seeing the ball and just having better approaches. And in the field overall, I think we've been pretty fine. But, you know, there's always room to clean up and the mindset and stuff like that. So.
And DJ, let's stay with you, a senior, and just tell me, I mean, you've been here at Carroll High School for 4 years. Tell me some of the things that you've learned through Carroll baseball that you're going to take on with you to the next level.
Definitely, one of them is for sure, don't take it for granted. You know, you never know when your season could stop. You know, like basketball, I broke my wrist, unfortunately. So, got to come out here and compete every day, you know, grind every day, and, you know, just get better. You don't know.
And Nick, what about you? What are some of the things that maybe these seniors have taught you that you're going to carry on next season and beyond?
I mean, I feel like they teach everyone just not give up, because we started the season 0-6, and you didn't really see a change in their attitudes. They came out every game ready to play and ready to win.
Good afternoon, high school baseball fans, and welcome out to Cabinets Field. We're about to get underway. Game 1 of a triple header for you guys here today. So game 1 of a triple header. We've got the opening ball game is the Carroll Tigers hosting the Gregory-Portland Wildcats. In game 2, the Moody Trojans will be hosting the Ray Texans. And in the final ball game of the afternoon, it's going to be the Miller Buccaneers hosting the Pleasanton Eagles. Got Rudy Trevino in the booth with me today, and we'll be calling some ball games for you guys. Welcome aboard, Rudy. What is this, like our third game maybe all season long?
It probably is. Probably. I was about to say right now, just maybe our first. No, I know we've done at least maybe 1 or 2 games. So yeah, you're right. It's probably our third game together. So we get a double header. Well, I'll get a double header. You have a triple header. I got to take off back to San Antonio.
Yeah, when Miller and Pleasanton kick off, you might be passing Pleasanton.
Right? Yeah, that game should be a pretty good game as well, a non-district game for the Miller Buccaneers. As you know, they've had a pretty good season. I saw that they have 7 wins, losing yesterday against Rockport Fulton, but you know they look to kind of put that game behind them and get a win today. But our game should be a good one. Like you said, Jake, the Carroll Tigers have been playing some really good baseball as of late. And, of course, GP, well, they've been playing good baseball all year long.
Yeah, both of these teams, hot teams, coming in off of wins. They both got a win last night. The Carroll Tigers, a win on the road as they went to Victoria and beat the East Titans. And the Gregory-Portland Wildcats were at home. They beat the Moody Trojans last night. And so both teams looking to stay hot right now. But one team's going to cool off just a little bit. And we'll see who that is, as it should, like Rudy said, be a good one. Let's go ahead and get you the starting lineups for these two teams as we're about to get things underway here. Let's start with the visiting team, the Gregory-Portland Wildcats. Leading things off for the Wildcats will be the catcher, number 4, Walker Yannick. Batting second, center fielder, number 8, Malachi Lott. Batting third baseman, number 5, Easton Dowell. In the cleanup spot, second baseman, number 1, Gage Gleinig. Batting fifth, first baseman, number 2, Colby Orell. Batting sixth for the Wildcats, the designated hitter, number 13, Daniel Gonzalez. And Gonzalez bats for the left fielder, number 10, A.J. Carter. Batting seventh and on the mound, number 21, Braden Talamontes. Batting eighth, the shortstop, number 11, Jackie King. And batting ninth for the Wildcats will be the right fielder, number 3, Andrew Baez.
COVID-19. Thank you.
So let's get you the starting lineup for let me get you the record for the Gregory-Portland Wildcats while we're at it. So the Wildcats coming in, they are 23-0-1 overall, 9-0 in district play, ranked number 1 in the state. Number 1 or number 2, depending on which bowl you're looking at. But 9-0 in district play under the direction of head coach Ronnie Jonesy. And the Carroll Tigers, they are 12-10-1, 3-6 in district play under the direction of head coach David Marcello. And let's get you the starting lineup for the Carroll Tigers. the home team. Leading things off will be the center fielder, number 20, Gilbert Gonzalez. Batting second, the designated hitter, number 9, J.J. Bush. He will bat for number 21, Trey Estrada, the second baseman. Batting third, third baseman, number 19, Easton Hewitt. In the cleanup spot, first baseman, number 22, Diego Cardenas. Batting fifth and on the mound for the Tigers, number 8, Nick Matrides. Batting sixth, the shortstop, number 10, Christian Martinez. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 3, E.J. Cantu. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 12, Dave Palomo. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 2, Chris Chavez. So doing the starting lineups here as well. So let's get you some numbers on Nick Matrides. Matrides gets the start as Dudney got the win last night for the Tigers on the road. So Nick Matrides, the junior right-hander, will throw for the Tigers. He is 3-6 on the season, 5.12 ERA. For Matrides, 39 2/3 innings pitched, and he has allowed 45 runs, 29 earned on 70 hits, 6 walks, and 23 strikeouts. And they asked the young junior to kind of carry the load, Rudy, while DJ Dudney was healing up that hand.
Yeah, for sure. You wanted to get the win yesterday, you know, make a statement win to start out the second half of district play. And you know, of course, you're gonna try to come out here, but you get your ace on the mound. You get the win. You know, it's gonna be tough to beat the GP Wildcats. You're gonna have to play flawless baseball to beat them. So they look at, like you said, the junior, and he's gonna have to pitch wonderful just to, you know, give the Tigers a chance to win this ball game. As the Wildcats have been playing some really good baseball.
And you know, Rudy, despite the record, the young man has done a really good job. He's been in a lot of ball games and giving these guys a chance to win, and they were still trying to get healthy, and so it hurt them a little bit, but expect him to do a good job once again. We'll pause for just a moment to bring you guys the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, buckle your seatbelts.
3, 2, 1, 0.
It's game time.
Lift off.
So sit back and enjoy the ride right here on Blast Vision.
Welcome back to the Stable Street Meat Market broadcast booth. Jake Vasquez, Rudy Trevino on the mic for you with the call today in this ball game. And Rudy will be here for a couple of ball games with me, both of the 29 5A matchups, and then he'll have to hit the road. And I imagine by the time that we're wrapping things up in that Miller-Pleasanton game, you'll be passing Pleasanton.
I probably will be passing Pleasanton. I'll be watching definitely.
So Carroll Tigers and Gregory-Portland Wildcats, as we mentioned in the pregame show, both of these teams are hot coming in. Perhaps no team hotter than the Carroll Tigers. You know,
3 straight wins for the Tigers, 2 wins to close out district play, and then they started the second half of district play with another win last night. You know, the Wildcats, they're a super hot team. Don't get me wrong. 21 wins in a row for them, and that's pretty phenomenal in and of itself. But one of the things I have noticed a little bit about the Wildcats, Rudy, is the bats have kind of cooled off just a little bit. But good teams, they find ways to win, you know, regardless. Last night they had only 2 hits going into the 6th inning of that ball game, but with a 3-1 lead. So, you know, still getting it done. But, you know, we'll see. It's a grind. I mean, and, you know, every coach you talk to, including Coach Jones, he says, man, it is tough. This is a super tough district. But like I said, good teams find ways to win, and these guys getting it done in different kinds of ways. So we'll see how they come out today.
Yeah, they're definitely looking for a win and stay undefeated in district play and stay now 2 games ahead of the Veterans Memorial Eagles, as we're gonna get things rolling.
Walker Yannick will lead things off, and the senior coming in batting .426. 33 for 68, first pitch swinging, and he fouls it off. So we're officially underway at 12:08 first pitch, and an 0-1 count on Yannick. Nick Betrides on the mound for the Tigers. And pitch comes in, grounded to the shortstop Martinez. Martinez fields and fires over to first in time to retire Yannick for out number 1.
And close play at first. Yannick, you know, he is the catcher, but he still has wheels, and he hustled down the line, almost beat it out, but that is going to be the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the center fielder, Malachi Lott.
So Lott will dig in from the left side against the right-hander Betrides, and Nick delivers outside for ball 1. Let's get you some numbers on Lott. Senior batting .456 on the season. 31 for 68, 22 runs driven in, 5 doubles, 4 triples, 2 home runs, and a 2-0 count on the young man. 2-0 pitch, popped him up. Left side, shallow left field. Again, Martinez, the shortstop, waving everybody off, and he will retire Lott for out number 2. So putting Christian Martinez to work here early in the ball game. 2 away.
Yeah, 2 down in the top of the first, as the Gregory-Portland Wildcats are going to be bringing up Easton Dowell.
Now this young man, one of the best players in the area for sure. He's a junior, bats from the right side, and Betrides starts him off with a curveball for a strike.
Was he top 5, I believe, in the nation in RBIs?
Yeah, something ridiculous like that, absolutely.
Every time I've seen this kid come to the plate, he puts good wood on it.
Does a good job, pops him up, and the Wildcats go quietly here in the top of the first. No runs, hits, or errors. No one left on base. No score as the Tigers come to bat when we come back. Blast Vision live from Cabinets Field.
With the sun staying out later and the weather getting warmer, get out and grill. Staple Street Meat Market has the best selection of quality meats for your next barbecue. Known for their Angus beef fajitas, smoked sausages, and new authentic family recipe Ponle brand spices. Like us on Facebook and never miss our weekly specials. We're located at 7626 South Staple Street, number 111 in Kings Crossing. But coming soon, our new location at 7418 South Staple Street is set to open in early 2022. Staple Street Meat Market, proud supporters of South Texas athletics.
Rick Sines with Z-Bart of Corpus Christi is a proud supporter of South Texas athletics. Stop by their location at 4535 Everhart for auto alarms, window tint, diamond gloss, auto detailing, rhino linings, and more. Call 361-985-9274 for more information or to make an appointment. Z-Bart, it's us or rust.
Welcome back to the Stable Street Meat Market broadcast booth as we head to the bottom of the first inning. No score on the mound for the Wildcats. Number 21, Braden Talamantes. I'll get you some numbers for him in a second. Forgot to get you the defensive alignment for the Carroll Tigers, but let's get you the defensive alignment for the Wildcats. And when the Tigers come back on the field, we'll get theirs for you. How about that? So in the outfield, left to right, Carter, Lott, and Baez. Orell at first, Gleinek at second, King the shortstop, Dow at third, Talamantes on the mound, and Yannick behind the dish. Leading off will be Gilbert Gonzalez, the Tiger center fielder, followed by Bush and Hewitt. So Gonzalez will dig in against Talamantes. Let me find some numbers on Talamantes for you guys.
Gilbert's gonna dig into the box. First pitch looks at strike one on the outside corner. Gonzalez batting .404 in the season. 52 ABs, has 15 runs, 21 hits, as that pitch is gonna miss away. And Gonzalez also tied for a lead in RBIs with 13. 3 jacks for the season as well. Here's the 1-1 offering. That's going to be hit into right field. It is just going to hit right on the line, actually, down the line on the right side. He's going to round first, head to the second base. The throw comes in. It's offline, and it's a leadoff double for Gonzalez.
The Tigers, I said it a while ago, perhaps no one as hot right now as the Carroll Tigers, and Gonzalez right on cue, leadoff double.
Good start. It kind of reminded me of, well, I mean, obviously just first batter, but yesterday, the King Mustangs, they started quick against the Veterans Memorial Eagles, and they put up 2 runs and put up 4 runs, and, they never let go of that lead, and I guarantee you the Carroll Tigers are going to want to do pretty much the same formula and see if they can get some runs early in the game, put some pressure on the top dog, GP Wildcats. That first pitch is up and away for ball 1.
It's going to be J.J. Bush at the plate, batting from the left side.
J.J. hitting .314 for the season, as J.J. has 11 hits in 35 at-bats, scored 13 times, 5 RBIs. That 1-0's away, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. So Talamantes on the mound.
Talamantes is 2-0 on the season, a 3.36 ERA, and he has pitched 16 2/3 innings, allowing 10 runs, 8 earned on 19 hits, 4 walks, and 13 strikeouts.
That 2-0 fastball just a bit in for ball 3. So 3-0 is the count. Way ahead is J.J. Bush. Long pause. Here's a 3-0 offering. That's away. Ball 4. So first 2 guys get on for the Carroll Tigers.
And I'm interested to see, I'm going to see if I can look it up, when the last time was that Braden Talamantes had to pitch for the Wildcats. It may not have been, it may have been several weeks. It may have been in tournament play.
It's tough this week, Jake, just because of testing. And then, well, what's crazy is the next 2 weeks, you're right, is they have to play Friday, Saturday. Oh, guess what? GP has to come back on Tuesday to play vets. So, maybe some little bit of strategy going on with Coach Jonesy, as that first pitch to Hewitt fouled off to the right side. So he starts Talamantes against a hot Carroll Tiger team.
Easton Hewitt, the Carroll Tiger third baseman, at the plate.
Pitch comes in, fouled off once again, as Hewitt, he's batting .353, 18 hits and 51 at-bats. Scored 18 times as well. Only a sophomore for the Carroll Tigers.
And a 2-year starter already.
There you go.
and he can play third base. Two really, really good third basemen in this ball game right now.
0-2 hit to the right side as the right fielder gonna give chase, dives, but it is lands in foul territory. Good attempt by Valles, or actually it's Vice, excuse me, Vice, the right fielder, and just unable to make the grab, but luckily that ball just landed in foul territory as it slices away from the right fielder, Vice.
Yeah, great effort out there, and you see Malachi Lott, giving him some love, showing him some love out there, and you got a chance to talk to Lott about the defense behind him and how important it's been and how much confidence he has in these guys, and you see Vice make a great diving effort out there, but a foul ball and an 0-2 count on Hewitt.
So way ahead still with Talamantes. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, just a bit outside. Great pitch. Actually, that looked more of a slider than a curveball. Hard, break at the end on that pitch. And I talked about it yesterday, Jake. I do not mind being outside, doing broadcasting or live streaming just because, it's a little bit different. You have your pros, you have your cons of being in the booth and being outside. As that ball's hit to the right side once again, and it's going to land pretty much in the same spot in foul territory, and it is going to be a foul ball. To me, the big pros is you can hear a lot of the chatter on the field. You can also, feel the crowd's intensity as well. And then the cons is, sometimes it's hot out here. Also, our equipment doesn't like that either.
Yeah, sometimes does not like the heat. We've lost some equipment in the heat.
Yeah,
literally,
we did, yeah.
Literally fried our equipment in the heat. And we haven't quite got to those months yet, really. So hopefully we'll be okay.
As long as we're under the shade like here, we will be A-okay. 1-2 the count still to Hewitt. Here is the pitch, and another slider misses away. 2-2. Pretty good at bat here for Easton Hewitt. Making Talamantes work in the bottom half of the first. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that is going to be fouled off. Actually, a mistake pitch. Hewitt just missed it.
A great at bat right here by Easton Hewitt, fouling off a lot of tough pitches, and might have seen the whole kitchen sink already. I believe this is going to be pitch number 8 coming up in this at bat.
Long pause, and yep, he was gonna call a timeout. That is granted by the home plate umpire. Two balls, two strikes, no outs. Couple runners on for the Carroll Tigers. Gonzalez is at second, Bush is at first. 2-2 offering. It's a breaking ball that's going to be hit to the left side. It's going to get through for a base hit as they're going to round the runner from third. Gonzalez is going to come in to score, and it's a 1-0 Carroll Tiger lead.
What an at-bat there by Easton Hewitt, Rudy, and he, willed that into being right there, and an RBI single. Tigers on the board first.
Good piece of hitting. Stayed on that slider, and as the shortstop King kind of shifted closer towards second base, big gap into the 6 hole, and it gets through, and Gonzalez with no throw stand up at the plate, and that is a run. So the next batter is gonna just bunt it right back to the pitcher. Talamantes is gonna elect to go to third. He gets the lead runner at third base, as that was Cardenas. So Cardenas is gonna get to first on the fielder's choice.
So Diego Cardenas retired for out number 1. It's going to bring up the pitcher, Nick Matridis. So Cardenas at first, Hewitt at second.
Matridis is going to foul one off right side. It's going to get out of play. believe Marcelo, right? Coach Marcelo for the Tigers. You know, trying to play a little bit of small ball. And Cardenas does put down the bunt, but it was just right back to Talamantes through a dart to the third baseman Dow.
Coach Marcelo, he's a New Yorker.
New Yorker.
He's from
Nice.
New York, originally from New York, and super high energy guy, you know. And if you've ever been to New York, you know the type, and he's definitely it. But a lot of fun to talk to, and he's really right now trying to build a culture. You know, they're about to move to their new high school, and he's trying to build the framework, and get Carroll, back to the glory days of Carroll. That's what he talks about all the time.
0-1 pitch, and that is going to be a chopper to the left side. And great play actually by Easton Hewitt, as that ball was hit to the left side and right towards Hewitt, the runner. And at the very last second, he dodges the baseball just so he can get King kind of
block the defender.
Exactly, kind of block the shortstop King, and he can't get a glove on it. So Coach Jones is going to go over there. He's going to talk to his infield, so everyone is safe. They called it a hit here at the field, and it is a hit. So 3 hits so far for the Carroll Tigers. Bases are loaded.
Definitely got a notch and assist right there for Easton Hewitt, as he, like you said, just kind of blocking the defender right there, and that's what you're supposed to do. And
great baseball IQ
I've
there.
I've never actually seen it work, Rudy. I've seen him try, the little block the defender, but I've never seen it work. And that time, just enough deflection right there for it to, make King bobble the ball, and everybody's safe. Like you said, everybody's safe, and it's going to bring Christian Martinez to the plate, the Tiger shortstop.
Christian Martinez batting .212 for the season. Has 7 hits and 33 at-bats. Scored 9 times. Also has 9 RBIs. So looking to add to that total. Bases are loaded. As that first pitch is going to be spiked into the turf. And a run is going to come in to score. So 2 runs in the bottom of the first for the Carroll Tigers. Everyone advances 90 feet. So now runners at second and third with 1 down.
Christian Martinez, a young man who is a 4-year starter for the Carroll Tigers. Senior year for the young man, and this young man, Rudy, a lot of folks may not know, just lost his father. And so you talk about someone going through some adversity right now, and Christian Martinez, you got to feel for that young man, and playing with a purpose, that's for sure.
Pitch missed away. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Here's a 2-0 pitch, and that's just a bit outside. Ball 3, 3-0.
Braden Talamantes, we got him at 21 pitches already here in the first inning.
Oh, another pro as well. We have the pitch count.
Yeah, we could
right
just
behind us, so we can always
stretch the
take
neck out and and take a look at it. The cool thing here at Cabinets Field is they announce it after every inning, so you can kind of double check. So we're always official here. Maybe not during the inning, but definitely after.
After the inning, definitely. Yes, we are unofficial, and then we are official after the inning. 3 balls and no strikes to Martinez. And Delamonte is going to step off the rubber. Still 1 out. Couple runners in scoring position for the Tigers. Here's a 3-0 to Martinez. It's down the middle for strike 1.
Just kind of laid that one in there, Rudy.
Have an open base at first. But I guarantee you, if you're Talamantes, you're going to try to come back and get a strikeout. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and that's a bit outside. Ball 4, so there is that open base now vacant from Martinez's walk. So bases are juiced for the Carroll Tigers.
It's going to bring up the right fielder, E.J. Cantu.
So the 7th batter to come to the plate for the Carroll Tigers. Easton Cantu, also a sophomore. He's he has an average of 312. He has 10 hits in 32 at bats, scored 7 times, 6 RBIs, 2 doubles into the season. Bats from the left side. Here's the first pitch. It's gonna miss a bit low for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count. Bases loaded for the Tigers. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That is down the middle for strike 1. 1-1. Jake, I don't know if we talked about it, but those Carroll Tiger uniforms are sweet.
We have not talked about it, but you're right.
First time I seen them. Here's that 1-1 pitch, slow ball 2. What the kids like to say, they got drip.
Is that what they're saying now?
That's what they're saying. They got the drip.
I'm glad you're hip to the lingo, Rudy. Who you been hanging out with, man?
This 2-1 is low and away, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike.
You know, Talamantes, he's done a great job. Like all of their pitchers have done a great job, but it just, you know, this situation here just reminds us that, man, this is going to be a tough 2 weeks for everybody involved, trying to navigate the pitching. And
3-1's going to be hit to the right side as second baseman's going to pick it up, throw over to first, but that is going to plate in a run for the Carroll Tigers, scoring 3 runs. So that was to gauge the second baseman over to Orel at first. So that's the second out of the inning.
Cardenas in to score on the ground out. Second and third with 2 away. And a 3-0 Tiger lead. De Palomo, freshman catcher, to the plate.
First pitch to Palomo. He's going to hit one right back up the middle. Falls for a base hit. As the runner from second, Matrides, is going to stay put. And that is an RBI single, 4 runs. Actually, that ball's going to get away from both the pitcher and catcher. And Matrides is going to come in to score. Make it 4 runs in the inning.
And the Tigers going nuts over there, as are their fans, and a little bit shell-shocked are the Gregory-Portland Wildcats right now. You can just tell in the body language of these guys, I mean, they're not used to this. Someone coming out, putting up 4 runs on them.
You know, that grouping of that 2-6 record, and the Tigers and King were both of those teams were that in that grouping. And you know, King made a statement win yesterday against the Eagles. The Carroll Tigers, they needed a win if they want to stay in the mix. They get the win, and now they're looking for a statement win over the Gregory-Portland Wildcats. Actually, it's 5 runs in this inning, not 4. So 5-0 Carroll Tigers in the bottom of the first, and they're still not done. There's 2 outs in the inning, runner at second base as Chavez at the plate. The 9-hole, as that first pitch to Chavez is away for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes.
.30 pitches for Braden Talamantes. That was number 30 right there.
1-0 pitch. That's going to catch the outside corner for a strike. 1-1.
Trying to catch up the virtual scoreboard, Rudy, because too much action.
I feel you on that one yesterday. It's probably an out behind yesterday. Here's the 1-1. And swinging a miss at the high cheese. 1-2. So a 5 spot for the Carroll Tigers. Bottom half of the first. They batted all 9 in this first inning. 1-2 pitch. And changeup's going to miss away. Ball 2, 2-2.
You know, one of the things I talked to Coach Marcelo about early in the week, Rudy, was the fact that, it looked bleak for the Tigers. No lie. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. 0-6 in district play. They got those 2 wins, and a lot of things happened around the time that they got those 2 wins as count goes full. Some of the teams lost some ball games. The King Mustangs lost a few ball games. The West Warriors lost a few ball games. And all of a sudden, there was this, we get our ace pitcher back. We win a couple of ball games. These other teams it was like the perfect storm for the Carroll Tigers, and they have ridden that momentum into this inning.
That 3-2 pitch is going to miss away, ball 4. And we're going to have time on the field as Coach Jones, he's going to go out and he's going to talk to his pitcher. Second time he comes out. So let's see if they're going to pull Talamantes.
They did have someone warming, and
they are. He points to the bullpen. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will get you that pitching change. And listen to Blast Vision live here at Cabinets Field.
Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram of Corpus Christi is a proud supporter of South Texas athletics. Come by and see us at 4313 South Staples in Ottotown. We'd like to wish all of the local teams the best of luck this season from your friends at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram. .361hsblast.com, your newest source for Coastal Bend 5A baseball and football news. Matt Rogers, Jake Vasquez, George Vondercheck, Stu Duncan, and Pete Garcia, positively spotlighting student athletes, coaches, programs, and schools through insightful features, video, game stories, stats, fan polls, schedules, rosters, and so much more. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. 361hsblast.com. Come check us out.
Looking to expand your customer base? Hit a home run and advertise right here on Blast Vision. For more information, contact Jake Vasquez at 361-434-0705. That's 361-434-0705. Join us and show your support for South Texas athletics.
And welcome back to the Staples Street Meat Market broadcast booth, as the new pitcher is going to be Christian Christian Mayer. As Mayer, he is going to come into relief for the Gregory-Portland Wildcats. They trail by 5 runs, as it's going to be the leadoff man who started this ball game with the leadoff double, and that is going to be Gilbert Gonzalez. So Gonzalez, he's going to come to the plate with runners at first and second with 2 outs. First pitch, and Gonzalez is going to get hit on the elbow as he's going to make his way to first base. So now bases are loaded. And it's going to bring up J.J. Bush. So first pitch from Mayer hits the batter Gonzalez. So with bases loaded. So with bases loaded, J.J. Bush comes to the plate. First time up for J.J. in the game. He walks, so no official at-bat. Bases are loaded. Here's the pitch, and that is going to miss away for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to J.J. Bush. 1-0. 1-0 pitch to J.J. That's going to dot the outside for strike 1, 1-1. One pitch, same location, same call. Strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes with bases loaded. 4 hits in the inning for the Carroll Tigers. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and JJ's going to hit one into left field as the left fielder Carter going back is going to get over his head, and one hops the wall as 1 run comes in to score. 2 runs are going to come in to score. 3 runs are going to come in to score, and a bases clearing double by JJ Bush, and it is an 8-0 Carroll Tiger lead in the bottom of the first.
They are going nuts, man, and that's a fun thing to see, man. Especially having visited them at practice, and that young man out there on second base, a very animated young man, and absolutely loves his team and his teammates, and I know he's got to be ecstatic at what he's just done right here to help his teammates out.
The first pitch to the batter Hewitt, it's up and in for ball 1. So a crooked number in the first inning for the Carroll Tigers. It's the 1-0 pitch, up and in once again, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. A lot of baseball to be played only in the first inning. 2-0 pitch finds the zone for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike. To 1 pitch, and it's going to be popped up right side, and it is going to slice out of play, and it's going to land towards the bullpen of the visiting side. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs. Runner at second base is Bush. Hewitt in the ball game. He's 1 for 1. Two pitch. It's poked the other way again. Slicing and slices foul and out of play into the bullpen this time. And we'll do it again at 2-2.
You know, something strange I just noticed, Rudy, the wind blowing in. You see the flags.
The wind is blowing in. You are right.
Very strange to see that here at Cabinets Field. Usually blows out and kind of blowing in.
There's another ball's going to be hit to the right side out of play. Bad news for me. I got to drive into the wind again.
I don't think the Carroll Tigers have noticed that the wind was blowing in either.
Especially JJ Bush. That ball just kept carrying, and you know, kind of in the back of my mind, I was like, wait, I guess the wind is helping it. Nope, that ball was just hit on a line right over the head of Carter in left field. 2 balls and 2 strikes still. The count to Hewitt, and once again putting a really good at bat. Another foul ball. I believe the first time up he saw 9 pitches. This time this would be, I believe, pitch number 8 of the at bat.
I believe you're right. Yeah, because the 7 just got recorded in there. So yeah, and he did. He saw 9 pitches in that last at bat. So young man who can play pretty slick third base. Also having a pretty good day.
So this will be his 17th pitch of the ball game that Hewitt has seen. It's kind of a BP session right there.
Worked Talamontes, and now he's working Christian Mayer.
Two balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch. Up. 4 ball, 3. So now he'll see his 9th pitch of this at bat. Here's a 3-2 pitch, and he swings and misses for strike 3, and that is going to be out number 3 in the inning. But the Carroll Tigers scoring 8 runs on 5 hits. There were 1 error and 1 man left in scoring position as we go to the top of the second. And our score 8-0 Carroll Tigers. You're listening to Blast Vision Live here at Cabinets Field.
Looking to expand your customer base? Hit a home run and advertise right here on Blast Vision. For more information, contact Jake Vasquez at 361-434-0705. That's 361-434-0705. Join us and show your support for South Texas athletics.
When I think of Snowball, I think of the hot Corpus summers of my childhood and trips to the original Snowball located at 3830 Baldwin. And now, Snowball 2 has taken that Corpus Christi staple to the south side. Located at 7114 Saratoga, they're your one-stop shop for your favorite snacks. Frito pies, hot Cheetos and cheese, hot dogs, pickles, candy apples, and ice cream. And of course, those amazing snowballs you remember from back when you were a kid.
Well, welcome back to the Stable Street Meat Market broadcast booth. Jake Vasquez and Rudy Trevino here at Cabinets Field, and the inning that never ended. The first inning there, Carroll Tigers putting up 8 runs on 5 hits. They're in the bottom of the first inning to take an 8-0 lead in the ball game. Here in the top of the second inning, and Nick Matridis, who probably cold at this point.
You know, I can guarantee you when Gregory-Portland Wildcats got to the ballpark, I guarantee you they did not think they were going to be trailing by 8 runs after the first inning of play. But that's kind of where they are, and well, they're going to have to definitely get some base runners and chip away at this Carroll Tiger lead.
We'll see if Matridis can pick up where he left off. Had a good first inning, retired the first 3 Wildcats in order. A pretty easy inning, 7 pitches only. That's all it took him, and he's going to face Gage Gleinig, and Gleinig first pitch swinging over to Christian Martinez at short, and Martinez never could get a handle on it. So it's going to be an error on Martinez, and the leadoff man on for the Wildcats, and that's exactly what they were looking for.
Exactly. You just need base runners. You know, at this point, a lot of baseball to be played, only in the second inning. The next batter for the Wildcats is going to be Orell. Kobe Orell. He's at the plate. Is Kobe for the season? He is batting .309, has 17 hits and 55 at-bats. Scored 11 times, has 14 RBIs, 1 double in the season.
First pitch swinging once again, pops it up in the infield, and it looks like the pitcher, Nick Matridis, is going to make the grab, 1 away. So the Wildcats really aggressive here. Both young men swinging at the first pitch. 1 down. Daniel Gonzalez to the plate.
There's Daniel Gonzalez, the senior. He is batting .204, 10 hits and 49 at-bats. Scored 18 times, however, 12 RBIs. Has 1 double for the season.
Bats from the left side, and Matridis deals low and outside for ball 1. Nick set at the belt. Comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
Pretty windy out here.
1-1 pitch, and that one gets away from Palomo. So on to second base is Gleinig. Pass ball. And a 2-1 count on the batter, Gonzalez.
Jake, I'm not too sure what time Victoria West and Calhoun got underway, but that game is over. Calhoun getting a 10-0 win over Victoria West.
West
finishing
is just
at 8 minutes ago.
In a free fall right now, Rudy. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Yesterday losing to the Carroll Tigers.
I believe that no, actually West lost to Flower Bluff. But I believe it's like 7 in a row with the losses for the West Warriors, a team that looked so promising early on. That pitch going to miss outside. Full count now on Gonzalez, and just can't seem to find it, Rudy. So full count on Gonzalez. Gleinig leads off second. Here comes the pitch. And it's going to miss. I believe that's...
Yeah, it was a little bit low, so that is going to be ball.
I thought that was ball 4, but I guess it's... I guess that's ball 3. So I must have missed one somewhere. Pitch on the way, and that one is going to be fisted into center field. And a great effort right there by the second baseman, Estrada. Kind of a leaping effort right there, but it's going to get past the glove of the outstretched arm, and it will be a single. So runners at the corners now for the Wildcats. Christian Mayer will come in to pitch, Rudy. I mean, in to hit the relief pitcher.
So Mayer at the dish. See if we can get you some numbers on Mayer this year. He has only 11 at-bats this year, and he has 1 hit in those 11 at-bats, batting .091.
Fouls off the first offering from Matrides, so an 0-1 count on Mayer. Gonzalez at first, Gleinig at third. Wildcats trailing 8-0. One down here in the top of the second.
You know, we're talking about that wind kind of blowing in, Jake. I think we got I wouldn't say a cold front, but a cool front. 78 degrees right now here in Corpus Christi. Absolutely perfect day. Well, for us anyways.
Yeah, some places might say it's a little hot. We're like, yeah, this is great. That pitch is going to be popped up right side. It looks like shallow right field in the second. It's actually and they're going to throw it down to third base, and they'll tag him out at third base, and that's Gleinig that gets tagged out. So what a play right there.
It looked like he was going to tag up, and, you know, he might have made it because the second baseman for the Carroll Tigers of Estrada, he didn't even know he was taken off. But at the last second, Gleinig decided to go back to the bag at third base, and then a dart from Estrada, and that's going to get out of the inning. So no runs for the Gregory-Portland Wildcats in the top of the second.
Blast Vision live from Cabinets Field.
With the sun staying out later and the weather getting warmer, get out and grill. Stable Street Meat Market has the best selection of quality meats for your next barbecue. Known for their Angus beef fajitas, smoked sausages, and new authentic family recipe, Ponle brand spices. Like us on Facebook and never miss our weekly specials. We're located at 7626 South Staple Street, number 111 in Kings Crossing. But coming soon, our new location at 7418 South Staple Street is set to open in early 2022. Stable Street Meat Market, proud supporters of South Texas Athletics.
Rick Sines with Z-Bart of Corpus Christi is a proud supporter of South Texas Athletics. Stop by their location at 4535 Everhart for auto alarms, window tint, diamond gloss, auto detailing, rhino linings, and more. Call 361-985-9274 for more information or to make an appointment. Z-Bart, it's us or rust.
Welcome back to the Stable Street Meat Market broadcast booth. Fast and Furious over here. And first pitch to Cardenas, and he fouls it off. 0-1 count.
Cardenas 0 for 1 in the ball game as he had that bunt right back to the pitcher. So a fielder's choice technically, as that 0-2 pitch, or excuse me, that 0-1 is fouled off to the right side into the netting. Count is 0-2.
Let's smile, Rudy. Let's do one smiling.
Oh, got you. So the count 0-2 is, you saw Coach Marcelo kind of go to the umpire, and he was surprised on that first pitch was called a strike. So the count is 0-2. 0-2 is in the turf. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
We're on camera for a change. We do have a. You always remind me too that we have an Instagram account. We never put any pictures on it.
No kidding, because that 1-2 is up and away ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So we got a good one for the Instagram account. You guys check it out later. Our camera girl, we need to get her on the Instagram account as well.
2-2 pitch. It's going to be poked to the right side. Right fielder Weiss, he's coming in, and he is going to make the grab as Gage Gleinig also making his way out to shallow right field. But Weiss does make the grab for the first out of the bottom of the second.
It's going to bring up the pitcher, Nick Matridis.
First pitch to Matridis is going to be called a strike. 0-1. One pitch, just a bit inside for a ball. 1-1.
Nick Matridis singled and scored in the first inning, so 1 for 1 in the ball game.
Here's that 1-1 pitch. That's bounced. Ball 2-1 as the Ray Texans just getting to the field.
Ray Texans probably looking at the scoreboard in a little bit of disbelief.
As that 2-1's popped up foul territory. First baseman giving chase and heads up. Right where the Texans are. Out of play. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the count even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes to the batter, Matridis. So 5 runs. Or excuse me, 5 hits and 8 runs for the Carroll Tigers in this ball game. Here's the 2-2 offering, and that is going to be hit to the right side, right to the second baseman, Gleinig. Backhands throw over to first, bounce to Orell, and Orell is going to pick it for out number 2. Good play by the second baseman, Gleinig, and also kind of a pick-me-up by Orell.
So 2 down, bases empty for the shortstop, Christian Martinez. Yeah, that's twice Gleinig has kind of spiked the ball a little bit over there at second base. Maybe these guys are a little bit amped up too.
First pitch is down the middle to Martinez for a strike. 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball called strike 2. You know, Jake, talk about a team who, coming into this ball game has won 3 straight. And, getting a big win yesterday over Victoria, and we'll talk about that when we come back, actually, as that 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3, and that is out number 3. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Carroll Tigers. We go to the top of the third. It's an 8-0 ball game. You're listening to Blast Vision Live here at Cabness Field.
Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram of Corpus Christi is a proud supporter of South Texas athletics. Come by and see us at 4313 South Staples in Ottotown. We'd like to wish all of the local teams the best of luck this season from your friends at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram. .361hsblast.com, your newest source for Coastal Bend 5A baseball and football news. Matt Rogers, Jake Vasquez, George Vondercheck, Stu Duncan, and Pete Garcia, positively spotlighting student athletes, coaches, programs, and schools through insightful features, video, game stories, stats, fan polls, schedules, rosters, and so much more. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. 361hsblast.com. Come check us out.
Where did you get it, on Amazon?
Welcome back to the Staples Street Meat Market broadcast booth. Yes, sir, on Amazon.
There we go.
Jake Vasquez and Rudy Trevino having too much fun today. Here in the wind, actually, the nice breeze. I'm sure you guys are catching that as well. I can see a little of that picking up on the mic right there.
Jake, we don't really get to do this too often. We're always usually at different fields at the same time. So when we do get to get in the booth together or outside together, calling a ball game, we definitely have a lot of fun.
Yes, sir,
and,
we do.
The Carroll Tigers are having a lot of fun in this ball game as well as they lead 8-0. King is due up for the Gregory-Portland Wildcats as Jackie King, he gets his first at bat. 8-9-1 due up.
King takes ball one, and that one is going to be lifted into left field. Chavez backing up a little to his right, and he'll squeeze it one away.
Maybe if that wind's blowing straight out, Jake, it might reach the warning track or even barely over the wall, but with that wind blowing in, kind of just stays up in the air, and an easy grab for the left fielder Chavez for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the 9-hole. It's going to be Andrew Weiss.
Weiss, a sophomore, he plays right field for the Wildcats, and he looks at strike one.
Weiss batting 125, has 2 hits in 16 at-bats, scored 7 times, and has 3 RBIs in the season.
0-2. Tiger fans wanted that one. 1-2 to count. And that 1-2 pitch gonna miss. 2-2. Nothing quite like an 8-run lead to give you a little bit of confidence, and you see Nick Matrides out there just cool and collected. And Rudy, though, through the first several games, even when the Tigers weren't doing so hot, Nick Matrides just pretty cool and collected all the time, it seems. That one's going to be popped up first base side, but slicing and going to get out of play. So we'll do it again at 2-2. And like I mentioned earlier, the record for the young man, I believe he came in 2-6 on the season, but was in a lot of close ball games, a lot of tight ball games, some games where the Carroll Tigers, it just got away from them. That one got jammed Weiss and popped up to Estrada at second base, 2 away. Back to the top of the order.
Walker Yannick is going to be the next batter for the Gregory-Portland Wildcats. Like you said, Jake, Matrides, that record doesn't reflect of especially what he's doing today. First time around, the Gregory-Portland Wildcats only had 1 hit, and I believe it was an infield hit in this ball game. So not hitting the ball square right on the button against Matrides. He's doing a wonderful job.
And
on
that's
the mound.
One of the things you and I talked about in the pregame about the Gregory-Portland Wildcats and how the bats have they've cooled off a little bit here as of late, as Yannick takes strike 2. And I was wondering how that would go for them, and that's something they really got to get going. And I talked a little bit about that with Matt Rogers last night. Is that one is going to be hit into center field, going back Gonzalez, and he'll squeeze it for out number 2. Remind me, we'll get back to that when we come back from commercial break. So the Wildcats go in order here in the top of the 3rd. No runs, hits, or errors. No one left on base. Listen to Blast Vision live from Cabinets Field.
Johnny Luna with AutoNation Chevrolet, Cadillac, GMC, and Buick, inviting everyone into the dealership to take a look at the inventory, including brand new 2021 models. But wait, there's more. AutoNation also has the biggest selection of pre-owned cars in town. Free window tint with purchase of any vehicle when you mention you heard this ad on Blast Vision Live. Come and get sold and rolled.
Looking to expand your customer base? Hit a home run and advertise right here on Blast Vision. For more information, contact Jake Vasquez at 361-434-0705. That's 361-434-0705. Join us and show your support for South Texas athletics.
Welcome back to the Stable Street Meat Market broadcast booth. Jake Vasquez and Rudy Trevino having some fun out here at Cabinets Field. We we head to the bottom of the third inning. The Tigers will send up 7, 8, 9 in the order. Cantu, Palomo, and Chavez. And, just to kind of finish that conversation we were having about the Wildcats, I was talking to Matt Rogers with 361hsblast.com last night, and we were both at that ball game. In fact, he was there covering the game, and I kind of mentioned it to him. I said, it seems like the Wildcats, they had only 2 hits going into the 6th inning yesterday, and got a couple of hits, and in fact scored a couple of runs in that bottom of the 6th. And he said, I don't really attribute that to the fact that their bats are getting cold. I think the pitching and the competition as the season has progressed, it's gotten better, and that is true as well. That is true as well.
It's kind of like when the start of the season you had the Veterans Memorial Eagles, ranked number 1 or number 2. I don't remember exactly what ranking they were. As the first pitch to Cantu is bounced in there for a ball, you get a big old target right on your back, and everyone's going to want to throw their ace against you. Everyone wants to beat you. Well, now it's the GP Wildcats who have the big target on their back, being ranked number 1 or 2, depending on what poll you look at. Is that 0-1 pitch is going to be a line right to the second baseman, Gleinig. He's going to make the grab for out number 1. So with 1 down, he's going to bring up the batter, Dave Palomo.
It's funny that you say that, because right after the Eagles pretty much dropped from number 1 almost out of the poll in a matter of a couple of weeks. First pitch misses up for ball 1. And, I happened to go to Veterans Memorial High School to do a pregame show with Coach Yeager. And one of the first things that Coach Yeager said to me was, "We're glad it's gone. They can have it."
That pitch is right down the middle for strike 1. Here's the 1-1 to Palomo. He's gonna foul one off of the ankle. Not a good feeling. He's gonna kind of limp it off, walk it off there. Yeah, definitely not you don't. I mean, of course you want to be ranked 1, 2, right? But you get that big target on your back, and either teams fold or you live up to the hype. And so far, GP has been playing some really good baseball. And I know you talked to Coach Jonesy, and they say, of course, we don't really care about that. We just go out, we play some baseball, we try to win every single game, and they've done that so far.
Yeah, and even through what I feel like is more of a, they've kind of cooled off a little bit. And think about it, 8 days off, and they hadn't played a ball game in 8 days, and that, that has an effect sometimes on a team, as that pitch is going to be skipped in there. 2-2 the count. So it happens sometimes, but the good thing so far for them has been that even through that, they found ways to win, and that's what good teams do. You have to, because you are gonna, they're gonna run into, obviously, clearly a playoff. They've got a playoff spot, whether it's the top spot in the district or not. They're going into the playoffs, and they're gonna see some good pitching, down the road. And so they've got to find different ways to win close ball games.
3-2 pitch is going to be lifted left side. Third baseman Dow giving chase, and he's actually going to run out of room, gets out of play. So the count stays full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, no, Jake, we've, a lot of the teams that we've covered throughout the playoffs and throughout the seasons, and the teams who actually made it to the state semifinals, which is going to be, Moody and Vets when we covered, and even Sinton that one year in 2017, I believe, they found ways to win. Of course, it's really hard to go undefeated in the whole season, because even professionals, they go in a game that nothing goes your way. You hit the ball hard, as that's going to be a walk issued to the batter, Palomo, and Chavez is going to be the next batter. We're going to have a courtesy runner for Palomo, and that is number, I believe, 7. Yeah, number 7 is Villegas. And, sometimes it's just not going to, the chips are not going to fall for you.
And not just that, we've talked about it. Sometimes at the plate, you can do everything right and hit it right at a guy. You can do everything wrong, and it drops for a base hit, a little bloop single, which we've already seen in this ball game. And that's baseball, though. That one was a called strike, I believe.
0-1 to the batter. 1 pitch. It's up for ball 1, a ball and a strike.
So, I know, Coach Jonesy not worried about, this ball game, and you know what? Every team, sometimes you kind of you definitely don't want your team to lose. You'd love to have a season where you go unbeaten, right? Absolutely. But do you also want a game where maybe, you're kind of reminded that, hey, you know what, we're not invincible. Heck yeah, you would rather have that here in district play than to go into the playoffs and have it in a one game, playoff. And then you're done for the season. So
exactly. I was just gonna kind of touch on that, as that pitch was fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes is get that first loss out of the way, and it's tough after winning 23 games to start the season, or 23-0-1, as that 2-2's fouled off, and losing. It sucks. Well, I mean, obviously they haven't lost yet. There's still a lot of baseball to be played.
Absolutely.
But if they do end up losing a game throughout the season, it's not the end of the world. You get that first one out of the way, and you can't cruise into this district. You can't just go into a ball game and think, oh, we're the more dominant team, and we're gonna go out there and just kind of go out there and go through the motions, and quickly an 8 spot can be put up. And that's what the Tigers have done. Is that pitch is inside, ball 3. The count is full, 3-2 pitch, fouled off, and it's going to get out of play.
And Coach Jonesy actually mentioned just that. We've got this district, especially not this district. No one's going to cakewalk through here, and maybe sometimes a big intense game last night with Moody, and maybe a little hangover. They come in and not expecting the Tigers to just jump on them the way they did, as that one is fouled off. Going to get out of play as well.
Ooh, heads up. Hit right off the top of that fence of the bleachers.
Yeah, he couldn't have placed it any more perfect.
So the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out.
But certainly not even this ball game over, for the Wildcats. Certainly capable of putting up 8 runs themselves. So
3-2 pitch kind of waves at a fastball out of the zone, and that is going to be a strikeout. So the second out of the bottom of the third, and we go back to the top of the lineup with Gilbert Gonzalez.
Seen these guys put up some runs pretty quickly themselves, so certainly not out of it by any means. That is absolutely not what we're saying.
That pitch comes up and in for ball 1.
But just talking about the fact that, if something like that were to happen, this is where you want it to happen. And, one of the things that pickoff move to first base not in time that Coach Jonesy was talking about, I want to say he was talking about the Ray Texans and, the fact that they had lost the ball game coming into the big game with Gregory-Portland. And, one of the things that Coach Jonesy said is, for a team like that, it just, they took that loss, but it gives them a chance to refocus, regroup, refocus, and so if that were to be the case here, I'm pretty sure that that's what this team would want to do, and that's what Coach Jonesy would have them do.
That pitch misses away for ball 2, 2 balls and 1 strike. Speaking of the Texans, Jake, they've dropped 2 games in a row, losing to Victoria East and then losing to Gregory-Portland last week, and haven't played a game until today. They actually had a bye yesterday, which was the first game in basically in district play in the second half. 2-1, foul tipping the glove, strike 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So they come into this ball game against a Moody Trojan team that also played some really good baseball. Dropped the game yesterday, but they also looking for a win. So it's gonna be a fun game. It was a fun matchup the first time around at Whataburger Field. So don't expect anything less in our next ball game. 2-2 pitch, and Gonzalez actually gets hit in the same spot as his last at-bat. Good thing he has that elbow guard, because that elbow's getting some work today.
And so Rudy, Justin Perales had a chance to talk to Coach Ruiz, and they talked a little bit about that first game. So when, you'll see Coach Ruiz, we have a pregame show for that one coming up, right before the next game starts, and you see where he asked Coach Ruiz specifically about that ball game, and Coach Ruiz, his comment was what he expects is a much cleaner, a much, ball game. But what a great ball game it was. 2 sophomores. We won't see Richie Roman. He threw last night for the Trojans, so we won't see a rematch of Richie Roman and Kevin Goss. I imagine we will see Kevin Goss, but not Richie Roman. So it won't be a rematch of those 2 sophomores. But I'll tell you what, swing and a miss right there on the first pitch to J.J. Bush. I'll tell you what, that's a matchup that we're probably going to see a lot more throughout the next couple of years. Richie Roman and Kevin Goss for the Trojans and for the Texans.
0-1 is going to get away from the catcher, Yannick. So a pass ball. Both runners advance 90 feet, so 2 runners in scoring position for the Carroll Tigers, and they look to increase their lead. They already lead by 8 runs to the Wildcats, but there is 2 outs in the inning, so Wildcats 1 pitch away getting out of the inning. So a ball and a strike.
JJ 1 for 1. He doubled, a bases clearing double in his first at bat.
1-1, and he hits one into left field. Carter, he's going back, and it's over his head again. One bounces the wall again, and again, bases clearing double by J.J. Bush. It's 10-0 Carroll Tigers. Showing the emotion at second base. They know how big this ball game is for the Carroll Tigers.
And everybody else better look out, because the momentum and the confidence that these guys are playing with right now is dangerous, Rudy.
Look good, feel good, play good. They got the drip on.
They got the drip.
Those new uniforms, absolutely sweet. Easton Hewitt's the next batter. Hewitt looks at a pitch that's up for ball 1.
This young man has had 2 great at-bats. I want to say
18 pitches. That was pitch number 19 he has seen this ball game alone, and this is only his 3rd at-bat. So that 1-0 is going to catch the outside corner for strike 1, a ball and a strike. It's a 1-1 pitch. Catch the outside corner, strike 2, a ball and 2 strikes. Those balls are being hit hard off of J.J. Bush's bat. To hit over the left fielder's head opposite field, not just once but twice. One bounced the wall. You got to get good, well, I'd say wood, but metal on it. You got to square up the baseball, and he did it twice. And both, I believe, with 2 strikes as well. Just kind of a shortening up approach and make a good swing, hit it the other way, and how strong J.J. Bush is. He can carry that left fielder, Carter, and get himself a couple knocks, a couple doubles. That pitch was fouled off. 1-2 the count.
He's another one of those young men that
1-2 pitch, line to the right fielder Vice, and Vice makes his way to his left. He's going to make the grab for out number 3, and that is going to be the end of the inning. But the Carroll Tigers add to their lead, scoring 2 runs on 1 hit. There was no errors, and 1 man left in scoring position. Go to the top of the 4th inning, 10-0 Carroll Tigers. You're listening to Blast Vision Live at Cavness Field.
When I think of Snowball, I think of the hot Corpus summers of my childhood and trips to the original Snowball located at 3830 Baldwin. And now, Snowball 2 has taken that Corpus Christi staple to the south side. Located at 7114 Saratoga, they're your one-stop shop for your favorite snacks. Frito pies, hot Cheetos and cheese, hot dogs, pickles, candy apples, and ice cream. And of course, those amazing snowballs you remember from back when you were a kid.
With the sun staying out later and the weather getting warmer, get out and grill. Stable Street Meat Market has the best selection of quality meats for your next barbecue. Known for their Angus beef fajitas, smoked sausages, and new authentic family recipe, Ponle brand spices. Like us on Facebook and never miss our weekly specials. We're located at 7626 South Staple Street, number 111 in Kings Crossing. But coming soon, our new location at 7418 South Staple Street is set to open in early 2022. Staple Street Meat Market, proud supporters of South Texas athletics.
Well, welcome back to the Staple Street Meat Market broadcast booth. Jake Vasquez and Rudy Trevino coming to you live from Cabinets Field. The Ray Texans scoring 10 runs.
Carroll Tigers.
The Ray.
You're thinking of the next game.
I looked over at the Ray Texans.
Well, I guarantee you they're hoping to score 10 runs
They
as well.
are hoping to score. That's right. They absolutely are, as Malachi Lott fouls off the first pitch from Nick Matrides. Carroll Tigers scoring 10 runs, and we're in the top of the fourth. 10-0 Tigers. Pitch is going to miss for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Misses up with the pitch. 2-1. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Wildcats. Lott, Dow, and Gleinig. And that pitch is going to be grounded to the second baseman, Estrada. Over to Cardenas at first. 1 away.
Easton Dow, the next batter for the Wildcats. Jake, want to give a big congrats to Coach Jason Pfluger, getting his 200th career win with the Oldham Owls.
Nice.
So he's got his 200th win yesterday as they won in a ball game 5-0.
Very nice, and congratulations to Coach Pfluger. Dow looks at strike 1.
And then also, Jake, I saw on Twitter, our buddy Lynn Hayward for the Caller Times, already some teams around the area clinching a playoff berth already, and that is the Sinton Pirates, the Cattle Island Wildcats, and the London Pirates. So all of them already punched their ticket to the playoffs. What seeding they will be, time will tell. But right now, they're all 3 of those teams are winning, or they're in the lead in the district in the standings.
It's getting there. We're getting there. 1-1 pitch fouled off. 1-2 the count on Easton Dow.
Hard to believe, but there's only 3 weeks left of regular season baseball.
It is hard to believe. That pitch misses up. 2-2. It always seems like we just started, and then all of a sudden it's over. But playoff time, one of our favorite times of the year.
Absolutely.
2-2 pitch. Misses up. Full count. And who's going to come out of this district? No clue.
Great starts for GP and Vets. Vets only losing 1 game. As that pitch, it's a 3-2 pitch is going to be lined into center for Gonzalez, and that is out number 2. GP going undefeated the first time around in district. Vets going 7-1. So, they had some cushion going into the second half, and Vets drops one yesterday. They go to 7-2, and then, GP trails by 10 runs, and they don't come back in this ball game. Well, they'll drop their first game in district and for the season, but it helps.
It'll make that game on Tuesday all the more interesting.
There you go. Should be a fun matchup between Vets and GP. Well, Vets has a tough game today against Victoria. I believe they have Victoria East.
Swing and a miss. Gage Gleinig on the first offering from Matrides. 1-1. And that would have been that will be a fun ball game on Tuesday, no matter the records. I mean, if the Wildcats make a crazy comeback here, still be a fun game between those 2 teams, and they're gonna get after it. I would imagine as that pitch misses up for ball 2, that it would be a young man who's just returned. A lot of these teams with guys with injuries. And I was gonna just start talking about J.J. Bush after his last at bat, how he is a young man coming back from injury as well. And so for the Veterans Memorial Eagles, they've got some guys back, and I believe at this point they're pretty much at full strength with the guys coming back, and probably will be Jose Acuna against can't be Malachi Lott. That pitch is going to be popped up, and there's Easton Hewitt to make the grab, and we'll talk about that when we come back. 3 up, 3 down for the Wildcats. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. Our score as we head to the bottom of the 4th, 10-0 Tigers. You guys don't go anywhere. Blast Vision live from Cabinets Field.
Rick Sines with Z-Bart of Corpus Christi is a proud supporter of South Texas Athletics. Stop by their location at 4535 Everhart for auto alarms, window tint, diamond gloss, auto detailing, rhino linings, and more. Call 361-985-9274 for more information or to make an appointment. Z-Bart, it's us or rust. Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram of Corpus Christi is a proud supporter of South Texas Athletics. Come by and see us at 4313 South Staples in Ottotown. We'd like to wish all of the local teams the best of luck this season from your friends at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram.
Welcome back to the Staples Street Meat Market broadcast booth. Jake Vasquez and Rudy Trevino with the call for you.
Leading off for the Tigers, number 22, Diego Martinez.
Bottom of the 4th inning, the Tigers with a 10-0 lead, looking to extend that lead. They'll send up 4, 5, and 6. Cardenas, Matrides, and Martinez.
Diego's going to dig into the box. First pitch he sees is going to ground it to the shortstop King. King over to Orell at first in time. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here to start the bottom half of the 4th inning.
Number 8, Nick Matrides.
Nick Matrides to the plate. Nick 1 for 2. Singled and scored and grounded out.
First pitch looks at a ball outside. 1-0. You know, Jake, a little bit earlier, our pregame, I talked about, the Carroll Tigers are going to need to play almost a perfect game to beat the Gregory-Portland Wildcats. Well, that's kind of what they've done. Only giving up 1 hit in this ball game. It was a weak hit, and then they have 1 error in the ball game, but scoring 10 runs on 6 hits. That's pretty much a good formula of, getting a win, not over just a really good team, but any team that is. Here's a 2-1 pitch as Nick is going to dump one into right center as right fielder Vice, he comes in to his right, makes the grab for out number 2. So 2 outs in the inning.
And the Tigers will send up shortstop Christian Martinez.
Number 10, Christian Martinez.
Now, Jake, correct me if I'm wrong, but is it still 10 after 5?
It is.
So that means GP is playing with 3 outs left in this ball game if they don't score another run. First pitch to Martinez, misses away for ball 1. 1-0 pitch, it's away, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 to Martinez. 0 for 1 in the ball game. Swings and misses at a fastball, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. The bottom of the 4th. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 twos across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. No one on for the Tigers. Here's that 2-2 offering, and that is swung on and missed for strike 3, and that is out number 3. So for the Carroll Tigers, they go in order 1, 2, 3. We go to the top of the 5th inning, and this, if the Wildcats don't get a run, this will be the last at bat for the Wildcats. You listen to Blast Vision Live here at Cabins Field.
.361hsblast.com, your newest source for Coastal Bend 5A baseball and football news. Matt Rogers, Jake Vasquez, George Vondercheck, Stu Duncan, and Pete Garcia, positively spotlighting student athletes, coaches, programs, and schools through insightful features, video, game stories, stats, fan polls, schedules, rosters, and so much more. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. 361hsblast.com. Come check us out.
Johnny Luna with AutoNation Chevrolet, Cadillac, GMC, and Buick, inviting everyone into the dealership to take a look at the inventory, including brand new 2021 models. But wait, there's more. AutoNation also has the biggest selection of pre-owned cars in town. Free window tint with purchase of any vehicle when you mention you heard this ad on Blast Vision Live. Come and get sold and rolled.
Welcome back to the Staple Street Meat Market broadcast booth. As the first pitch to Kobe Orrell is fouled off, and actually we got a pinch hitter, so that is going to be number 9, Nate Turner. So Turner fouls off the first pitch. Treaties have him at 45 pitches. Ground ball, left side. Martinez fields, fires over to first, and they're going to say he was off the bag. Cárdenas, so the throw was wide, and a great stretch over there by Diego Cárdenas. And Coach Marcelo wants to ask the home plate umpire for help there on that one.
Yeah, it did look like he, when he made the stretch, Jake, I can kind of see it. The pole's kind of blocking the first baseman, but I can see the bag clearly, and yeah, he was, his foot kind of got off the bag when he stretched out. So that is, he is going to be safe at first base.
Number 13, Daniel Gonzalez.
So runner at first base for the Wildcats. And they're going to call it an error here at the field.
So an error on Martinez and the throw. So runner at first base with nobody out.
Daniel Gonzalez, 1 for 1. He's at the plate.
Treaties delivers the first pitch. Going to be fouled off. 0-1 count.
No balls and a strike to the batter, Gonzalez.
And I thought he had called it a strike, but no, ball 1. So 1-1 to count. Foul tipped into the mid of Palomo, 1-2.
Have a doubleheader right here on Blast Vision, as it will be the Ray Texans and the Moody Trojans. As the Moody Trojans are the home team this time around, so they host the Ray Texans. That game supposed to start at 2:30.
Actually, a triple header here on Blast Vision, because we'll have Miller and Pleasanton following the Ray Moody game.
Would have been a quadruple header.
Would have, yeah. it was originally scheduled to be a quadruple hitter, as that one's going to be fouled back out of play. We'll do it again at 2-2.
It's a hit right on top of the covering, and see the rust fall.
Yeah, every time. Don't look up. Definitely don't look up.
I guess that's one of the cons.
Yeah. Yeah, put that in the con column right there. 2-2 count. Pitch is going to be lined into the glove of Cardenas, and they will double up Turner.
You know, everything going right for the Carroll Tigers in this ball game, and
I
just kind of saw just Coach Jonesy's reaction. He's just like, well, I mean, what can we do? He hit a ball right on the button, right to the first baseman of Cardenas, and it was a hit-and-run action as the runner, Turner, was taken off to second base. Well, right into the glove, double him up, and now there's one out remaining left in this ball game for the Wildcats as they look at Christian Mayer.
So 2 down, base is empty, and
it's actually not Mayer, Jake. It's number 14, so it looks like it's going to be a pinch hitter.
And that's going to be Aiden Acosta. So Acosta, the last hope for the Wildcats, and Matrides starts him with a strike. And that pitch gonna miss for ball 1. So a ball and a strike, and Matrides at I have that one at 54.
I believe that's what it is, 54.
So how big is that, Rudy, in a 2-week span where you're going to need a ton of pitching to have Nick Matrides at 54 pitches in this ball game, and probably will escape, under 60 or slightly above, perhaps, just depending on what happens here with Acosta. That pitch is going to be fouled off, so down to their last strike now are the Wildcats.
Yeah, that is definitely huge, to get an outing, for Matrides, and how he's pitched today against the Gregory-Portland Wildcats has been
masterful. That's
there you go.
That
I was looking for a word, Jake. That is the perfect word to use.
2-2 count here on Acosta. I meant to say it earlier and didn't. And we were thinking along the same lines. To the shortstop, Martinez over to first in time. That is the ball game, and the Carroll Tigers, these guys are absolutely fired up. They have won 4 in a row, but none bigger than this one today. You mentioned earlier, Rudy, a statement game, and that is what the Carroll Tigers have done. They've made a statement. They are playing with so much confidence right now. It is just, it's fun to watch. That's all I have to say about that. It is fun to watch.
They are fired up on the field, as you can probably see on the broadcast here. And big win for the Carroll Tigers. And, Jake, I was just going to look it up. The Carroll Tigers have the Ray Texans next week. And, watch out, Ray, because these Carroll Tigers, they're coming. And 4 in a row. And they look to get a big push coming into the playoffs. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll get you some final totals, and also we'll try to get you a post game as well. We'll get an interview with our player of the game, and also with head coach Marcelo. Sit tight. We'll be right back. You listen to Blast Vision Live here at Cabinets Field.
Looking to expand your customer base? Hit a home run and advertise right here on Blast Vision. For more information, contact Jake Vasquez at 361-434-0705. That's 361-434-0705. Join us and show your support for South Texas athletics.
When I think of Snowball, I think of the hot Corpus summers of my childhood and trips to the original Snowball located at 3830 Baldwin. And now, Snowball 2 has taken that Corpus Christi staple to the south side. Located at 7114 Saratoga, they're your one-stop shop for your favorite snacks. Frito pies, hot Cheetos and cheese, hot dogs, pickles, candy apples, and ice cream. And of course, those amazing snowballs you remember from back when you were a kid.
Welcome back to the Staple Street Meat Market broadcast booth, and I have Coach David Marcello on the line with us right now in the post-game show. Coach, first of all, congratulations on the win. Just tell me what you're feeling right now, Coach.
I'm happy for our guys, man. This is what it comes down to. This is why we do what we do and why we, battle day in and day out and, stick together as a group. So I'm pumped for our guys, man. They've really stuck together all year long through all the adversity, the ups and downs, injuries, COVID situations, tragedies, you name it. We've weathered it. Got a lot of experience for that dude. So, man, I can't even say how happy I am for our guys.
Coach, I was with you the other day at practice, and we talked about I was with you the other day, Coach. Yeah, hold on a second. We'll get it here in a second. Couldn't hear with the mic up there. Let's give him a second. He's signing off the pitch count real quick. So let's give him. He's doing double duty here.
Never ends. It's like a school.
Coach Marcello's doing it all. Coach, I was there with you the other day at practice, and we talked about the confidence level of your team. Coach, they played inspired, Coach. It just the confidence is on another level. We could see it from here. You can feel it. Rudy called it drip. That's what the kids call it. They play with, and the unis they had it going on. How good is that feeling right there as well, Coach? Just to see those guys playing with all that confidence. You guys are dangerous with that confidence.
I mean, Josh, Jake, this is, I've had confidence in our guys since day one. I mean, my confidence has never wavered in what we do. It's just, circumstances have been what they are. And like I told you the other day, when our guys have not had a pity party, they had no woe is me moments. So what we're seeing right now is just the byproduct of all that work we've been putting in and the stick-togetherness that we got. So, I mean, this is no surprise to us as coaches, and it's really no surprise to the guys because as we've gotten healthier and other guys have gotten all these reps in these, baptism by fire games, it's starting to come together. Now, we're not where we want to be yet, but we're climbing up that ladder pretty steady.
And you and I, last thing, you and I talked about building that culture, and you can see it, and it's fun to watch, Coach. I'm just going to tell you that. That's what I've said a couple of times throughout this game. It's just fun to watch, to see you guys. And real quick, before you go, just talk to me about these two guys, Nick Matrides and J.J. Bush, our players, co-players of the game. Just tell me a little bit about each of those guys, if you would.
Well, I mean, you got to love J.J. He's gone through a lot here, having injuries.
First call, line up to the press box. Thank you.
In and out of the lineup, he's been bugging to get back in. For his zone, I'm trying to, bring him back and slowly. But he's the team guy, man. He's glue. Him and Gilbert are the two glue guys that get the dugout rolling. They come with that basketball idea. We score, we dunk kind of stuff. So it's kind of fun in the dugout there. Nick is now getting the byproduct of all the work he put in throughout the beginning of the year. And, like I said earlier, he was a tough luck, pitcher for us in the beginning when we were all shorthanded taking L's in these important games. But he never wavered in what it is. And, he works extra hard and he knows what his capabilities are. And he really takes advantage of what he has. And the team backs him. And, these guys, like I said, these guys are a legit team. And this is pretty impressive to watch. I know the drip, like you talked about the uniforms earlier.
Oh,
We had
yeah.
an argument last night at 12:15 at night about what we're going to wear today. It was either they're all pinstripes or navy and pinstripes or navy. And, so we could decide on the full navy today. So, yeah, we went with that drip, and it worked out.
Oh yeah, it looks good, Coach. And like I said, look good, play good, and y'all are playing some really good baseball. Thank you, Coach. And if you can hand it off to one of the guys, we'd love to talk to him.
Hey, thank you for all you guys do. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Head Coach David Marcello, and as he hands it off to, looks like we're gonna get JJ Bush first. Let's make sure he gets the headset on. And JJ, if you could come out this way, there you go, young man. That way we can see you. And right there's good enough, man. We got you right there on the camera. Yeah, absolutely. So JJ, can you hear us okay?
Sorry, I didn't hear you right there.
I was just asking if you could hear us. So, but hey JJ, first of all, man, congratulations on the win. I got a chance to visit with some of your teammates out at practice the other day, and also with Coach, and one of the things we talked about was the confidence level and how you guys are just it seems like on another level. Just talk to me about that a little bit, young man.
Well, we came out, what was it, 0-6, and Coach Marcel was mad. So we got to turn it up right now. If we want playoffs, we got to turn it up right now. So we all came together, and now we're just hitting it well, fielding well. Our pitchers are phenomenal right now.
And let's talk about that. I want to talk to you about the day that you had, but let's talk first, since you went there first. Let's talk about the pitching. Nick Matrides, he's a young man that you guys, he had to really rely on him early on, and he took some tough losses, some games where, he kept you guys in there, but you guys were still working to try and get it going. And just talk about the job he's done for you guys.
He's been great. We've been getting way more inter-squad work with him, way more bullpens and everything. So he's been throwing way better. He's working on some new pitches, and I think he used a couple of them today. Got some fly out, ground outs.
And let's talk about the day that you had, young man. A couple of doubles, and we noticed after the first double that the wind is actually blowing in. So yeah. How you got that baseball, where it landed, we don't know, but you did, and you did it twice, and drove in 5 runs for your team. Man, what a day you had today. I want to know, what did you eat for breakfast?
I actually ate 2 kolaches and a donut. Usually I'm on a good diet, but then this morning last night we got back at like almost 1 a.m. from Victoria, so we didn't have much time for anything.
Well, whatever you did, young man, it worked. So do it again, and just want to again say congratulations. It's been fun watching you guys on this little run. We look forward to seeing how all of this shakes out. So congratulations. Good luck to you guys. We'd love to talk to Nick.
Sure, thank you.
That was JJ Bush, our co-player of the game. He's going to hand it off to Nick, and we're going to ask Nick to move on over this way so we can get him on camera. And here he comes. So Nick Matrides, our co-player of the game, and I'm going to hand it over to Rudy.
Nick, can you hear us first off?
Yes, I can hear you.
Alrighty, awesome. Congratulations on the win first off, and talk to me a little bit about coming into this ball game. Y'all winning 3 in a row, looking to win 4 in a row. What was the the mindset in the dugout just coming into this ball game?
We just wanted to keep the win streak.
There you go. And what about yourself? How was coming into this game facing a tough GP squad?
Honestly, we weren't pretty worried. I mean, they're ranked top 5 in the state. It just doesn't really bother us. We're just trying to come in and get out with the win, keep the win streak going.
Yeah, and that's exactly what y'all did. And you didn't get any punchies today, but you got only 1 hit allowed to a great team. And what was working for you? Was it the fastball? Was it the breaking ball? In your eyes, what was working?
I feel like it was the fastball. They couldn't really square it up. I mean, it squared up like a couple, but it was just, luckily for me, it was right at players.
Well, there you go. Well, don't want to take up too much of your time, so thank you again, co-player of the game, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. So Nick Matrides and JJ Bush are co-players of the game, and Nick was one of the guys I got to talk to, Rudy, out at practice, and And like I said, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, and it was one of the things we talked about. I talked to him and I talked to DJ Dudney, and those guys talking about how Nick was the guy in the beginning, and you heard Coach Marcelo say, he never wavered. He was out there and he took some licks. He took some licks for the team, and it's just, like I said, I'm going to say it one more time. It's just fun to see these guys, the Carroll Tigers, that is, on this run that they're on right now, and wherever it ends up taking them, I know it's going to be a fun ride. And right now, Coach Marcelo just trying to build the program. But, hey, man, if you can take it for a ride right now, while you're building it, you're definitely going to want to do that.
It's the perfect time to get hot, and, they need to make a push to make the playoffs. And, if they sneak into that playoffs, Jake, you need to watch out for these Carroll Tigers, because how they're playing right now, obviously being the number 1 team in the state, they can beat anybody.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And I think that's a good place to close this one up. We'll wrap it up right there. The final totals in this ball game, let's get them for you real quick. For the Gregory-Portland Wildcats, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error. For the Carroll Tigers, 10 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. And as we mentioned, and that Carroll fans are letting them have it over there in the parking lot. I hope you guys can hear that. They have the horns honking, and they are absolutely ecstatic about their young men, and they, as they should be. So let's get you the final line also for the pitchers in this one. The win goes to Nick Matrides. He goes the distance, 5 innings pitched. He allowed no runs on 1 hit, no walks, no strikeouts. The loss to Braden Talamontes, he pitched 2/3 of an inning. He allowed 7 runs, all earned, on 4 hits, 3 walks, and no strikeouts. And so for the Carroll Tigers, they are now 13-10-1, 4-6 in district play, and making a push. And for the Gregory-Portland Wildcats, their first loss of the season, 23-1-1, 9-1 in district play. And so that will wrap up this ball game. The Moody Trojans and the Ray Texans are already warming up on the field, and they are scheduled to get underway at 2:30. We'll be back on the air probably in about 10-15 minutes with our pregame show. So you guys, we'll be right back. We're going to go off the air for just a bit. We'll see y'all on the flip side. Don't forget to tune in for our next ball game. Rudy Trevino and Jake Vasquez will bring you the next ball game, Blast Vision Live from Cabinets Field.